Have you ever heard of getting $150K worth of business credit funding with no docs, no proof of income, no nothing? Well, here's how I did it for my client.
Keontae, you got the keys, yo.
Who am I here with today?
Again, say your name.
Keontae Whitlow. What if I told you I could get you $100K? Ain't gotta say your song, gotta sell no yay. Ain't gotta flip no peas, ain't gotta hit the road.
This is an example of no excuses.
Whatever you want, you could truly have.
There's no excuse. Anyone can get access to credit. What's going on, y'all? What's the word? What's the vibe, man? It's your boy Key, aka the low-key entrepreneur, aka Money Bag Key, whatever you know me as. Just wanted to jump on here and talk about how I got $150K for one of my clients. I'm gonna be outlining everything we did and detailing the whole process. A lot of people think it's impossible to get $150K or $100K, and sometimes people don't even believe they can get $50K without having tax returns and stuff. So here's what we did. When he first came to us, we had to help him add just a couple things onto his personal credit, because yes, step one is you have to make sure your client has his personal credit right. It needs to be in that 700 plus credit range, which he was already in that 700 plus credit range, but he didn't have all the prerequisites. So some of the prerequisites is a 700 plus credit score, no late payments, no charge-offs, no collections, no bankruptcies, no negative remarks at all. He didn't have any negative remarks. He didn't have one of the prerequisites, which is 2 credit limits of at least $3,500 and more. He had one credit card for $10K and another credit card for $2,500, which was kind of weird, but we helped him get a credit limit increase on the second card, and we helped him add another high limit credit card just to make sure that he fully met the requirements. So once he got that, we also did add a couple more accounts on, like easy accounts, like some rental primaries, because you want to make sure that the profile is thicker than a Snicker. It's better to have a thick profile than to have a little weak profile. Even though like 7 accounts, you want to make sure he has like 10 to 12 at all times. I mean, for all profiles. So step 2, we helped him with his business, and we had to help him restructure because he had his business set up as trucking. So we had to have him set it up as a low risk business, because as we know, trucking is high risk. So we had to have him restructure all that. Luckily, he wasn't actually running a trucking company. He just set up the company like that because he wanted to get into trucking. But once we helped him restructure it to a low risk industry, tap in with me if you guys need a list of industries that are low risk, because you definitely will get denied if you apply with a high risk for most banks. Well, so once we helped him restructure his business, and we were able to move on to step 3. And also, before I move on to step 3, I do want to note that he already had a LLC that was over 3 years old. Actually, it was like 6 years old. He created this LLC a while ago. That was one of the benefits of how he came to us. We didn't have to get a shelf corp or nothing like that. What the next step do, we went to step 3, which would be how we started building relationships. We hit up our relationship managers with different banks. So we went to Chase first, of course, and then we went to PNC, and then we went to Truist, and then we went to US Bank. So once I got him into all 4 of these banks, I got him the first 3. I got him, so for Chase, PNC, and US Bank, I got him hooked up with checking accounts with all of them. Truist, he did not need an account. We were able to shoot for the credit card with that. But first, we got him the banking, the relationships with these 3 banks. He was able to put in some cash. I think with Chase, he put around $5,500 over a span of a week. Once he hit $5,500, we were able to shoot for the stars, and we were able to apply for 2 cars right away. And we got approved for one for $55K and one for $40K. So that's a total of $95K just for those 2 banks. And they both got 0% interest for 12 months. And they pulled Experian and Transient where he was located. So then we were able to move on to the next banks, which was, I think we went to PNC first because they pulled Experian as well. So we went ahead and got him 2 cards back to back as well with PNC. The first one got approved for 10K, but the next one they only approved them for like 8K. So I'm not sure. It was like, I'm not sure why, but I'm not sure why they only gave 8K. I was under the impression that usually they mirror, but yeah, we weren't able to get it increased. Even with the reconsideration, he was stuck with that. And then we were able to move on to Truist. Of course, Truist, they'll give you 25K pretty easily. So that's what we got with Truist as well. Now Truist pulls. Truist was the first one that pulled Equifax. So far, everything else has pulled Experian and TransUnion, and then PNC pulled Experian only, and then Truist pulled Equifax only. So we got one card for 25K. And then US Bank, we got 25K with Truist. And then we moved on to US Bank. They gave him 5K at first, and then we had to do the reconsideration because sometimes US Bank be playing games, and we were able to get him increased to 10K. Not sure why they only gave him 10K, but beggars can't be choosers, and that's actually 2K shy from 150K. That's how we were able to get our client 150K in business funding. With US Bank, they pulled from TransUnion as well. One thing I forgot to mention, once we applied for Chase and PNC, got those 3 inquiries removed off of his report for Experian and TransUnion, and we had a hard time with removing the Equifax. So we applied for the Truist credit card, so he still does have that inquiry, but we're still working. And then once we got approved for US Bank after the fact, we were able to go ahead and get that removed as well. And now we're ready to go ahead and get the ball back rolling, get him some more money. But yeah, this is a case study on how I was able to get my client 150K in business funding for up to 18 months with 0% interest, because one of those cards that he did get with US Bank had longer 0% interest than all the rest. I think PNC had 13 months, and I believe the US Bank had 16 or 18. I gotta go back and check. This is how you can get your clients 0% interest money with just a few banks, and I will be showing a case study where we did it the same thing, but we did more credit unions than banks. But this client, we just started the relationship with Amex and stuff as well, so we're about to go get him some more money. So yeah, if y'all enjoyed this video, man, drop a like on this video, drop a comment, and let me know if you guys need to tap in and get your clients some 0% interest money, or yourself some 0% interest money. Definitely tap in with me. All you gotta do is click the link in the description below that says to book a call with me, and then we can go from there. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all stay safe, y'all be blessed. Thanks for watching.